Greetings class and welcome back. This video is going to take you through the Armand Dalton website and basically instruct you in logging in. Or getting to our case. So the login is right here. Now I've set up a fake student, so I'm going to log in as the fake student, or otherwise I can't see what you see. So I'm logging in as Dennis. Now, when you log in, you won't see all of this information, but there will be a green box up here underneath the name. It'll say log into the eSUA. And when you do, you will have this appear, but you also won't have any of this information under it until you add the activity code for our section, or the section code that I sent out earlier. So search your emails. There is a section code provided. I sent it out. You'll just need to type it in and add the section code, and once you do, you will see this information appear. Now when we get to this, we want to go to the activity overview, and you'll get a pop-up like this. We have 4 distinct sections in this eSUA case. The 2 sections of transactions, month end and year end. So here is December 16th to 22nd, which is the first set of transactions, and I want to proceed to that. Right click. I accidentally left clicked. Now the first thing that you'll see pop up will be these program instructions or project instructions, and you can download those so you can look at them on a different device or whatever, or even I wouldn't suggest printing that, because with the instructions and then with the procedures and the flow chart and the reference book, this is going to be a very long document. The 24 pages are just the instructions, okay? Now, when you go through this, this is like what we used to have as a physical case. We had a booklet, and it gives you a table of contents and all the information about this project and how you should prepare and tips on completing it, and so on. So you have all of that information here. And as you work through it, it's going to give you some overview of the company, Warren Sports Supply, and it will give you these file folder descriptions that you will have. You do have a file cabinet here, and that's what you'll see in this file cabinet. You have basically temporary, mailed or given to customer, banking, shipping, accounting, and so on. Now, they give you a thorough review of the accounting system and policy here. And my suggestion to you is that you go through this and understand how these systems work, or what the policies are, and that you understand who these different individuals are in the company. Ray Kramer is the salaried manager. Jim Adams is an hourly employee, and so is Nancy Ford. We have a chart of accounts, the selling price and cost list. That's critical to being able to get this done. Credit terms, this is important. If you sell something to a customer, you are offering credit terms of 210 net 30. That is a 2% discount within 10 days, net if paid within 30. For vendors, it's the same thing. Well, for Velocity sporting goods it is. But basically Chicago Office Supply isn't, and Gillette Consulting is not either. There's no discount for these two, but there is for Velocity. So we are going to have to compute those discounts when we pay them within the discount period. They give us some information about inventory procedures, payroll, and so on. In this first batch of transactions, you won't have to worry about inventory or payroll so much, but you will have to deal with some of the other policies, that is, who signs off on what. Now, when we start this, like I said, having these instructions handy is a really good thing. You'll want to open the documents, and I always open it in a new tab so I can refer back to what I was looking at. So the document list is here. Now, again, with the transaction list, you can download it, and I would recommend that you do. It's a PDF file, and when you download it, it'll pop up into your, well, it could go to your browser like mine did, or to a PDF, and you can save it on your computer. The other one that's like that is this price list. You want both of these quickly available here. So when you look at this, you're going to have the price list and you're going to have the eSUA case. Now the case that's online is designed to be different, slightly different for everybody. So your numbers won't be exactly the same as somebody else. So going back to our document page, the first thing we want to look at is a transaction list to find out what exactly are we doing. And it tells us with the first transaction that we are going to reference a flowchart on pages 18 and 19, and we do have to prepare documents. This is basically a customer purchase order, and it's from Rosemont University. They requested certain goods. We shipped everything except 50 shoulder pad sets. So I already walked through this as a practice to see how this system would work, and I couldn't reset the document. So what I'm going to show you is what I've already done. So we start with this by looking at the flow charts. So we're going to look at the flow chart here for sales, and the flow chart we're looking at here is related to shipping and billing. So what we see, the very first start is we receive a customer purchase order, and Kramer approves the credit and initials approval on customer purchase order. So if we go back to the documents, okay, I'm going to have to go back here. If we go back to the documents, we need to find that purchase order. The customer purchase order from Rosemont is right here. So we open that. Now, in each of these documents, there is the potential for you to make a change in them. So if you look at the flow chart, it says Ray Kramer is going to look at and approve this. When you have something that you're approving, let me go back and look at that again just to be safe. Let's open these in a new window, a new tab. So when we're looking at the sales, it says Kramer approves credit and initials the approval on customer purchase order. So that's what we want to do. So we go back to the document number 4, and I had a signature on here, but it really should be initialed. But once you do that on this customer purchase order, you don't really need to do anything else except to take note of what they're ordering. Now, they've already done that when you look at the transaction, but this is going to be used as a reference for what they've ordered and what you can send. So then, if we go back to the flow chart, we're going to pick the inventory items and prepare a bill of lading. So my excitement here, I prepared the sales invoice the last time first. The bill of lading for this transaction is right here. Oh no, not that one. It's the first one. And this one, what you're going to do is go back to this price list, and you're going to look at, or not price list, the transaction list. You're going to look at this, and it says the shipment is 5 cartons of goal and rim sets at 42 pounds a carton, and same thing for all these others, and the freight rate is $37 per 100 pounds. So the way that translates means that we are going to go to back to the bill of lading, and in this case we're going to, I had that in a different window, didn't I? Well, so in this bill of lading, let's see. Yeah, let me just go back on this and switch windows. So the bill of lading is over here in this window, and what we're going to do is fill in Rosemont's information off of the transaction, which is on December the 16th. We're going to take the 5 cartons of goal and rim sets at 42 pounds each and multiply that, and we have 210 pounds of weight in those cartons at $37 per 100 pounds, and that calculates out. And then this one, we're going to have 2 cartons times 123 pounds per carton, and that's going to be 246. Here we have 10 at 30 pounds each and 4 at 32 pounds each. So that's going to work out to these weight numbers, and then correspond to, you don't have to calculate the extension. You have to calculate the weight and put in the rate per pound, but basically the form itself will calculate the total that's over here. And the total charge on this shipping will be $327.08. You don't have to fill anything in about COD, but you do know that this shipment is going to be FOB shipper, or FOB shipping point. So we are going to, we are not going to pay for this, the customer is. So freight charges, bill to shipper, prepaid or collect. When we're saying collect, we're talking about they're going to have to collect from customer. So that's the bill of lading. And by the way, the bill of lading doesn't really have any impact on what you're going to put in. Well, it is going to be the same units, but we're not going to use the numbers from this to input the sales invoice. So the next thing that we have to do, if we're looking at the flow chart, is prepare, after we do the bill of lading, we're going to send that over to accounting, and basically Nancy Ford is wearing these hats. It starts into the accounting process, and so we're going to prepare a pre-numbered sales invoice here. In this one, sorry about that. In this one, you're going to go back to the documents, and you're going to look for the invoice number 731, and we'll open that in a new window. And the sales invoice is going to be based on what you have in the price list and in the transaction list. Now, it's important to note that all goods were shipped except you could only send 50 shoulder pad sets for the shipment. That means that there are some of these that are going to be back ordered. And so what we'll have to do is, after we back order them, is ship them as soon as we receive them. So this is the information here. These are the cartons that you've recorded in the bill of lading. But right now we need to go back to the documents and look at the sales invoice. I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Okay, there we are. All right, here we go. So when we look at this, remember that everything that they ordered for goal and rim sets were available. That's 25 goal and rim sets at $132 each, 20 backboards at $124 each, 50 shoulder pad sets. Now remember, they ordered more than that, but it said we only had 50 available to ship. But that's all we're going to put in here for the shipment. And when we go back and look at the price list, we're going to see, by the way, the price is what we're selling these at. So when we look at the goal and rim set, the selling price is $132. When we look at the backboard, it's $124. So again, that's the kind of thing you need to be aware of. The selling price versus cost. Okay, so we're going to use selling price. We're going to select the item number off of this list, and then we're going to fill in the rest of the sales invoice based on this price list. Now, when you fill it in, you're going to put the quantity ordered, the product number, and in this column, it's going to be whether it was directly shipped, DO, or back ordered, which is BO right there. So we're going to list everything that they ordered on this form, but we're only going to invoice them for the things that they could actually receive in our shipment. So we go through, we identify the goal and rim sets, the backboards, the shoulder pad sets. What we actually had was 50. We show 25 on back order, and then we show 40 football helmets and the price. So as we calculate this in our form, it will automatically total these. Now, in a back order, you're not sending anything, but you are listing it because it is back ordered. You're showing the customer you're not charging them yet. And then the customer account number for Rosemont is 406. That's important because we'll need to know that to finish this transaction up in the accounting function. So when we go back to these documents and in the flow charts, we see, wait a minute, that we prepare the sales invoice. Jim Adams is going to review the invoice and supporting documents for accuracy, and will initial it. So let's go back to that sales invoice. And there will be a spot here for somebody to verify it. And we're going to pick out the person. We'll say initials, it's Jim Adams. There we go. That's all set. When you actually finish a document, you're going to save it here. And it will save in your documents. Now, when we finished that and verified it, you might not want to close it yet because we are going to use the total in our next step, which is what we're going to do when we look at the flow chart that's on the next page. Let me get back there. So the next page is page 19. This is in the accounting department, and Jim Adams is going to be doing this. So you have the sale invoice coming in. It's a credit sale, so we're going to make an entry in the sales journal and accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. Okay, so that's the first thing you want to do. You come over here to the documents, and we want to pick out the journal. The first place is the journal. Remember the place of original entry. And so let's go down to the journal. I went too high. There we go. We're going to have the sales journal. And so in the sales journal, we are going to record this. Now in these special purpose journals, the columns are going to be the accounts we use the most, like accounts receivable and sales. We'll also have sales returns and an accounts receivable credit in the event that there's a return or something like that. Anyway, So for Rosemont University, this is a blank line in your journal, but you click edit and you go through the process: date, name, invoice number, account number for Rosemont, and the amount. In my case, the total calculated to 15,470. Your number could be slightly different from this, so I want to enter that as a debit to accounts receivable and a credit to sales right here in this journal. Once everything is done with the transaction that I want, I click on the save on the individual line. This is true for the journals. You're going to see it this way. And then the next thing we need to do, according to the flow chart, is to post it in the subsidiary ledger. So we go back here to the documents. We look at the ledgers. Let's do this. We're going to have the accounts receivable subsidiary ledger. We'll open that new tab. Anyway, when that opens, you will then go to the customer, which is Rosemont, and in the customer tab, you will see the balance in their account. This is their individual ledger. Now in yours, it's going to be blank, so you click on this to edit, and you put in the date, the invoice number, and the amount as a debit, and it will automatically add this balance in, and it's, in my case, 15,470. And when I'm finished with that, satisfied, I click save. Now the only thing left to do in this transaction is to go down here and file the documents. So we have a customer purchase order, bill of lading, and sales invoice, and so we're going to file those. We're going to send those to the customer. We've already got copies in our files in accounting and the other areas, so we're going to send these to the customer as we ship the goods. So when you get this, you're going to go over to the file cabinet. And when you open the file cabinet, you're going to find these different, you have a temporary list, you have, whatever you're using is going to pop up in here. But when you say mailed or given to outsiders, bill of lading, sales invoice, shipping, sale invoice, accounting, you see bill of lading, sale invoice, and so on. So you're going to save the filing cabinet based on the documents, and you're going to move them from temporary to the correct file. And then once you're done, you click save, and that's it. Success, it closes. Well, at this point, this is everything for the first transaction. And when we get together in class, we'll look at a couple more, and we'll go through this on a regular basis. But I want to highlight and emphasize the accounting system procedures and policies. This is critically important. The flow charts, the reference book, and then if you really are confused, you can look at some of these sample completed documents that they show you here. These are just video or visual representations. You can't do anything with them, but they show you these documents that they've already completed. Anyway, I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please let me know.